Game on, ladies and gentlemen. So, our two teams here have actually decided that they're going to start this whole thing super quickly and have therefore also not really bothered to look into the team names or anything else. So, as you can see right now, we have the teams actually mixed a little bit. So, the Vikings are actually starting on the other side, which is the left side. I'm going to adjust this in just a second. But they're going to play against Porc9 here as we go into another series in the HeroesHype Premier Series. And yeah, that means that we're going to look at another best of 3. So the Vikings on the left side on our first map was Skya Foundry with Make, and therefore the ban against Mephisto, because, well, he is one of the few, if not the only player these days that still plays Mephisto in these situations and is getting target banned pretty frequently, actually. So it should be a pretty awesome series, to tell you the truth here. Now the lineup is a little bit different as usual for them, but I'm personally quite curious to see what's gonna happen on the side of Porc9, because those bad boys just took down Lauber's Fanclub. They did. So I'm more than curious to see if they can go the distance and make it to the grand final, or if the Vikings, the Swedes, are shutting them down right now. That's going to be the big question. So Malfurion gets banned out too. And, well, against Porc9, what are we going to see in bans? The one thing that teams actually learned now, after we had this little incident in the previous series, is that Samuro is completely banned for this particular tournament. So we're not going to see that Samuro ban anymore, that we would have traditionally seen against Monkey now. Instead, it's Hanzo that gets eliminated here. So, let's have a look. With that, first pick comes on for Porc9. And I gotta say, I'm a bit impressed by their performance. I said in the series against the Fanclub that I think they can take a map or maybe even 2 against the former Granite Gaming squad, but I have to admit that I was still doubting a bit that they were able to pull this off in this tournament and get the 2-1 victory, but they actually pulled through, and all of a sudden they are a real force to be reckoned with here, and it's gonna be an interesting match against the Vikings. So this is a semifinal, by the way, one of the semifinals. Alarak again for Svamgrota. That Heroes target banned against him several times for obvious reasons. And now we have Liming and Johanna. Alright, so with Liming already taken, I mean, obviously when you're playing on the Skya Foundry, you can really look on those resets and also just get the attack in from the outside. But that Alarak setup with all the aggression that we've seen on, it was Infernal Shrines actually between Porc9 and the Fanclub that they showed there, that was pretty sweet. Okay, Junkrat makes it, and again Tyrael, so they're going for a very similar setup to what they showed in that previous series. Junkrat this time from Shirionto, not from Svamgrota, who played it multiple times in this tournament already, to the extent that he was even target banned on the hero in addition to his Alarak. So yeah, it was actually a pretty sick setup for them just in general. But so far their plays are working out for them, and yeah, I just want to see the game right now, honestly. I'm just sitting here and like, I wanna see if they can go to the grand final. Malthael gets banned. That was part of their composition the last time that they played with Alarak and Tyrael. So when we are looking at additional melee, then we might see something. Well, if they want to go for aggression, we might see something along the lines of Greymane is obviously still up. You can go into Thrall here if you want to have another hero on the off lane. Oftentimes they would go into Rexer, but he got obviously banned out very quickly in this. Now Urel comes in. Haven't seen the girl in a while, so the Space Goat is back to business, and Rhaegar is picked together with that. In supports, is it going to be the Kharazim pick again that was showcased by Porc9 on Infernal Shrines the last time they played a very similar composition to this? Or are they going to deviate away from that now? Well, Skya is obviously a map where traditionally you want to have a bit of outside poke, and they have that in the form of Junkrat. On the other side you have Liming, but you still also want to be able to just crush over your opponent a bit, and there's Kharazim. Kharazim and Imperius, okay, more stuns available for them. And that leaves us with Gia, the last pick for the Vikings as we're heading into the first game of the best of 3 series. Well, Skya Foundry is the map, and the Vikings round out their draft with, well, what's the damage here? Mako and Liming. Gia could even go into Vala if they wanted. I mean, they have Urel, they have Johanna, they have Rhaegar. There's a lot to really protect the backliner. And they go Thrall. Triple frontline for them, defending Liming a little bit. And with that, there's even the option for Thrall to go into Crash Lightning because he can be part of the 4-man. Ladies, let's go. Volskaya Foundry. Game number 1 in the best of 3 series here at the semifinal. Game number 1, the Vikings against Porc9. On the left side for the Vikings, the Swedes with Mako on Liming, Galnagulna on Rhaegar, Gia on Thrall, we're having Sven on Urel, and Opadopa on Johanna. Over to the right side at this point, Svamgrota on Alarak. We're looking at Shirionto on Junkrat. Monkey for Porc9 is playing Imperius, Mopsio on Tyrael, and Karazim played by Fury. Pretty much the same, very nearly the same setup that they played in one of the previous matches. There's 2 exceptions. Monkey was playing Malthael back then, and Shirionto was on Hanzo instead of Junkrat, but the thought process behind the composition is still very much so the same. Yeah, but at this point, let's see what they can pull off with this. And there it is! Trash Lightning! Decent map for it if you have a triple melee lineup where you can put Thrall into the side lane. Now, if you can complete the quest, that's obviously pretty solid, and you will get a lot of damage from the poke here. Galnagulna is pausing the game, and I don't really blame him. As you could see, we had actually a couple of small lag spikes here at the beginning of the match, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one who experienced those. So, well, let's see. I expect that they're going to restart start the game up again in just a second. And there we go, but let's hope that that was only a bit of a BattleNet hiccup. That is of no consequence, because that would be a little bit of a problem for the match. That seems a bit better here. 2 stacks already for Crash Lightning, and it's an insane poke that you get with Thrall if you're able to complete the quest in a reasonable time frame. Now, Gia is also interrupting some of the rotations here, but he's sitting at 3 stacks already, and that should be a pretty solid setup for them. Especially once they're getting a bit more here. Well, we're actually having a few more of these little spikes there, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. Previous games were unaffected by it, and well, the maintenance for Blizzard is actually announced for, I think, tomorrow night, so it shouldn't really affect anybody today. So let's hope that the server hiccups that are obviously happening right now are not really affecting the game itself and are soon gone. But either way, focusing on the camps, of course, as the 1 minute mark has hit and the camps appeared. Having now, in the middle of the map, the tanks go up against each other. But Thrall is roaming a lot and trying to get the stacks together. He finds himself in a one-on-one situation though now. And that's really not where he wants to be. Not if you're going for Crash Lightning. And that's what we're having from him now. Most of the maps you're better served going into the Echo of Elements, but again, if you are in a 3-man setup and Thrall can join the 4-man, then there are maps where you can get value out of Trash Lightning, Battlefield of Eternity being one of them, and also Volskaya Foundry, another one. And the longer the game lasts, the more you get out of this, the better for you. If you're going up against Rexa, then you have Nisha in the game, that's obviously even an additional advantage for you. But here's a level 4 abilities, and with that we're getting the Frostwolf pack and a pretty hefty focus into the Wolf run from Rhaegar, who now joins the Feral Heart too. So he's trying to use the Ghost form there as well, in order to get his mana back in those fights. Slight changes also in terms of the build when we're looking over to Urel, who in level 4 has now gone straight into the Gift of Lunaru again for additional heals and sustain. Not a single kill in the game thus far, a bit of additional poke, but now that the first control point unlocks in 20 seconds, we are pretty much guaranteed to see Thrall fighting for additional stacks on his level 1 talent. And that's really where Porc9 has to start to split and not allow him to get easy stacks. That's probably the biggest one. And he's already about... actually didn't get one there. A little bit unlucky with the RNG. But as the checkpoint gets fought over, that allows for Thrall to have more opportunities. But first of all, he has to deal with the top lane. And that's a bit of an annoying situation right now, because he really wants to be in the middle, especially as we're seeing everybody just clustering up around the shrine. So that's just heaven for Thrall that wants to stack his level 1 a little bit more. But he's the one who has been sent towards the top, and he needs to deal with that camp. So... good move. Also, Charge Blast for Maka. He's one of the few players that actually doesn't really like dominance any longer after it was changed from Blizzard a little bit. So in this case, we have him again with his standard talent, the Charged Blast here on level 4. Deviated away from that a lot. Thrall by now, still on 4 stacks, but starting to move down towards the middle in order to get some value here. Ancestral Wrath in the early level 7 already helped them. Gia is now trying to get another stack together here and could get that any second. Lockdown already, and nearly a kill against Mopsio. That was a close call. Instead, Li Ming that falls. Nicely done by Junkrat in particular. A stack for Thrall on his level 4, and he finally gets another one for his level 1, but he's a little bit late to that party, to be honest. So now 1 kill against 0, and Porc9 taking a small lead in the game, and taking the upper hand on the objective too. So, yep, with that, Calamity comes in. We're having still the Divine Steed for easier rotations on Yrel. Thrall double-checking if someone is trying to make a play for the support camp, which so far isn't the case. They're moving straight into the middle again. There was already one additional tower turret that they took, and they went just now for the second. Thrall with another opportunity at a stack, and he gets it. 6 stacks for him now, 24 to go. Mark in trouble, but gets healed. And there's Thrall again. As the cooldown is ready, he can jump in for another stack quite easily. And does exactly that, collects it. But the problem is that Yrel has just fallen. And Yrel down, 4 stacks on level 4 for Gia. But the Protector in the hands of the red team is already spelling some trouble for them. The Vikings are on the retreat here. Shirionta at the top. Not baiting out the wolf just yet. Don't want to lose the stacks there. But here's the rotation that we talked about in the previous series from Porc9, and which they absolutely love to go for. Instead of preparing for the second objective, they prepare for objective number 3. Connect with Macke. They're not quite getting the fountain, but if you open up the wall, pretty much can take it whenever you really want. And they're also, of course, binding a lot of resources of the opponent to the defense at the bottom. Might even be able to get that fountain after all. Yeah, going straight for the attack. Here level 10 abilities already. That's another big advantage. They're heavily ahead in experience at this point. 7 stacks only, still for Thrall. Doesn't really get too much. And well, we already have with level 10 an easy one to be grabbed right here. Now Thrall is still sitting at 9,000 damage. Isn't really too crazy just yet, but he has a chance of increasing this significantly the farther he gets on the stacking process. You look over to Alarak then again, and you see a big difference with him rocking 17,000 damage already this early in the game. It's 2 kills against 0, and the item advantage is once more in the hands of Porc9, which is obviously a big deal on this map. I mean, a lot of this is about the camps that you take. Thrall has to be super careful that he doesn't throw a wolf out by accident, or he's going to be reset on this one. Level 10 abilities in, and this time we actually get to see Earthquake. In the previous games with Thrall, it was more so the engaged attempt that they made, with them rocking Sundering. Not so this time. That was a close call there. If he throws a wolf out there, just as Imperius moves away, he loses his stacks again, but he's actually waiting for this one. And we also have Wrath on level 10 for Imperius, so that's gonna make an interesting setup if they can get the kills. Yeah, quest completed, nicely done. That was actually well done by Gia. And he has 9 stacks by now, acquired another 2 in that little process here. And might be able to get another one if he's lucky, which he is not. Has to move away from this one, nearly the lockdown, but the wolf saves him right there. 10 abilities on both sides, Yrel bot lane, Thrall in the middle, the aggression against the fountain and the fort with both gone, which means that they have an advantage for the next one. 7-sided doesn't connect, they're trying to make the play with the Riptire, and they can't quite get it. Nearly the kill against Galnagul now, but he gets the Ancestral through. And Johanna's in trouble. A lot of them are in trouble. And with that, Porc9 has a shot at caking the fort, or at least severely damaging it. It seems like they're going to get the whole thing. 2 kills against 0, level ahead, 1 fort down, the one at the bot lane severely damaged. They're crushing it. They are really on fire right now. I mean, not only the victory earlier against Lauber's Fanclub, but they are just doing incredibly well here on the first map against their opponent in the semi-final. Sven is just in tight camps again, focused everywhere. This one on, yeah, also just now taken. So when we're talking about the items, we have right now only a single turret still for them. Can they get the kill against Sven? I doubt it, but they are looking to get some more damage onto him. And here comes our setup again against Opa. 2 items against 1 in this game thus far, and level 13 talents are the next problem that the Vikings will have to face. 114 stacks, by the way, on the Sadism. For Alarak, Fury wants a little bit of mana, level 13 is ready, and everybody starts to move to the top. And again, we have to focus into the teeth, the steel trap. Shattering teeth right there, the sticky wicket, and again, gotta trap them all. The cooldown reduction and the number of active traps. And that's what Shirionta has been playing. And not only him, Svamkrota has been playing the exact same style in the previous games. Objective is up again, which means another opportunity for Gia to get stacks on Thrall as they move topside. But they need level 13 and they're gonna get it now. The combo is there again. Alarak is making his plays. There's also the Earth Shield for Rhaegar. A little bit more time to get the Ancestral through. Plus, in addition, Aldarak Peacekeeper right there. Trying to look for an opportunity as Monkey is coming in with the rest of the team. 38 against 8% right now. Makes the play, doesn't get it, doesn't connect the ult, and now it's reset. But they're starting to make the play for Urel once more. With a good combo from Alarak, starting the whole thing off. But Monkey is low, 7-sided strike comes in, they're in trouble. But the Sanctification saves them for now. Again, an attempt at a turnaround, but this time the blue team is looking much better. The Vikings are going for the kills, and they get 2 of them. They go for 3, and with the resets from Li Ming, that's obviously just Maka living another day at the office here. Kill after kill after kill, gets the damage through. 15 stacks by now for Gia. Therefore, his own damage also starting to increase quite significantly. He's at 23,000 damage. Maka is looking at 28. Alarak still with 33,000. And they're still poking a bit to try and buy some time for the rest of the team. Death timers are obviously still incredibly low at this point in time. They're only 10 minutes in. But them claiming the support pot is also pretty important for the next fight that is going to happen up there at the top. Yeah, Shirionto still pushes another lane out. That forces Sven to take care of it. Urel is already in. But at the top we have another 5 versus 4 for now. That 7-sided was a little bit too short. They were hoping to lock down Johanna, but that didn't really work out. Could have been a kill, but wasn't. 17 stacks now for Thrall. Gia is getting there. Gia is getting there. He already has solid damage with it, and when he has the quest completed and the priority shifts on the bounces, that's going to be even better for him. Alright, nicely done by Fury, moving a bit to the side so that there was no bounce activated. But still, with 17, he's not looking too bad. 67% against 84, but the fight is still on and nobody has level 16 yet. This is still an even battle between them. Gia looks for another opportunity, sees one, and gets another stack. Sitting at 19 right now. 19 stacks for him, double connect from Imperius, but no follow-up. Thrall with the Earthquake, making sure that Svamgrota can't come in from the side. Another stack any second, and he gets it. Overtime has already been reached. Here comes the ult from Imperius, but can they get the kill? That's the question. Turrets on the ground, Sanctification being used, Ancestral keeping Johanna alive, and everybody moves away from Porc9. They are, in this case at least, not successful in fighting back. And we have 21 stacks now for Thrall. Gia is looking solid there. 21 stacks for him. Protector has been taken. And he's sitting at 33,000 damage. 37 for Li Ming. I mean, obviously, Maka just fantastic on that hero. Always playing on the edge. And they break the wall and they prepare for objective number 3. I mean, that's the game plan on this map. That's what you have to do. You prepare for the next objective by taking down your opponent's fountain on that lane. In an ideal world, you want the fort too. I doubt they can get that, but opening this up will allow them to get the fort at any point. Now we have with level 16 also the Alpha Wolf, so Gia is actually starting to get more and more damage out with all of this. And especially with the level 16 talent advantage, they have another shot at pushing this a little bit farther, and now playing the play for the fountain. 23 stacks now. He's 7 short of completing the quest. Now let's see what they're gonna get with this. I mean, right now, we're having 16 at least available on both sides, and that gives us the endless nades. Yeah, the attack against Gia again. Should be able to get another stack here. 24 for him. Does he have the cooldown? Yep, and he gets 25. Guys, again, his damage is increasing, and he's getting solid one out of that. And once he has the quest completed and the focus shift, he's going to get even more out of it. He is going to be the top damage dealer for them eventually if this continues. And so far, it looks like it really will. 3 kills against 2. It's not a kill-heavy game, but it's a close one. And that's only the first one of the series. Porc9, they lost against the Fanclub on the first map, but boy did they do well afterwards. By now, 43,000 damage for Li Ming, top damage in the game, 41,000 for Alarak. Junkrat on 41 too. And they try to go for the play here, the kill against Li Ming. Reptire and the Earthquake on the ground. There comes the Sanctification. They're fighting for it with tooth and nail. But what a setup by Alarak. Oh my god. Rhaegar is dead. Gia is on the run. Sven trying to survive, but Alarak again trying to lock him down. and the quest is nearly completed. But the kill with the final grenade against Johanna as she falls. 1 stack is all that the Thrall needs, and he gets it. Quest completed. Quest completed. At this point, you prioritize the bounces. You can just shell away however you want, and you are going to get value. And that poke hurts. That poke is going to drain eventually the mana on the opponent's support, and that's exactly what he's supposed to do here. 3 kills against 5 though, and Porc9 is just crushing the structures. They might have lost the objective at the top, but they were able to take 2 forts in this game already, and they now have the lead in experience as well. And again, with level 16, it obviously also allows them to go straight in for the cleansing touch here. Against the Blessed Shield, against a lot of the slows that come through, the Wolf as well, and they're still crushing through the middle of the map. They have momentum now, especially with Johanna down, and they want to use the momentum as much as they can. Already preparing with experience for the next objective, doing as much as they can here right now. 48,000 damage. Yes, Thrall is taking over. Thrall is taking over at this point. He will end this with him being top damage. Or at least being really close. Top lane. Camp's taken all over the place right now. 18 versus 18, and everybody is waiting for the next objective. Or for maybe even a kill. If you can just isolate someone on the map, you might be able to get the kill here. Especially, of course, if you connect the stun on the side of Imperius and maybe even get the ultimate connected. Yeah, and Make again! They're going straight in. Alarak is doing so well here. Alarak is doing great. That was nearly a kill against Make. He has to be careful. Swamp Grotta is crushing it with these combos. If that combo would have also silenced him, that would have been the end of it. But he's able to barely get out of this. And the aggression is there. Top side again. 19.5. They won 20. They want to push the camp in a little bit farther. This is just... Yeah, this is getting a bit crazy. Gia sitting tight. Get some damage out. Has to be careful. Teeth are still trying to lock him down here. And now we're having the bot lane also opened up. But obviously for the blue team, the problem is that Storm Talon that we're going to see for Porc9 in just a few seconds. They're trying to go for a kill against Cherionto, and he's able to move out. Tyrael is already bot side. Tyrael is already going for it. 115 Satyrs now for Alarak. And Tyrael is going to get them a big lead for them. And this is a shitty position for the Vikings. I mean, they go for the camp, obviously, and they're going to buy themselves a little bit more experience with it. They're going to get their level 20, but the problem for them is that they have to give up on a very, very big chunk of the checkpoint. Level 20 is ready. Hasty bargain on Alarak again. In addition to that, Impervious, Storm Shield. And there's the Storm Talon now finally also for the Vikings. And they're starting to make their move down to the bottom of the map. Here we go. They're trying to force the fight. Imperius is coming. Mark isn't there yet. There's the Thrall Earthquake. Mark is still not there. Riptire. Sanctification. 7-sided. And Rhaegar is down. Didn't even throw the Ancestral out. And Make was too late. Sven is low too. There's the items on the ground as they're trying to make the play here. 5 versus 4. They're going for Gia. He used the Bolt of the Storm to get out of harm's way. Johanna's getting attacked too, but able to move away, especially, of course, with the trade. Using the Unstoppable here to get out of it. But still, they just lost a massive, massive opportunity to come back into this. They took the fight too early. And now we're having with 78% Imperius back on the point, and he is going to get the Protector for them. They're still fighting over this one though, and Mopsio is about to go down. Mopsio is dead. Mopsio is down, and they want more, but big damage coming in. And this could actually be the end. Nah, they're going to survive through that. Marke is low. Gia is low too. They need to be careful, especially with Cherionto just firing away here. And if Alarak gets an opening, he's going to take it. But Fury has to jump out. And there's the Protector. They're not going for the bottom, by the way. They're actually moving into the middle instead. Mid lane is where the next Protector spawns. And they are already saying, well, this is not going to be a position where we're going to be able to end the game. So let's instead just focus on the middle of the map and take it from there. That game is going to continue for a while. Yeah, damage output at this point. As I said, eventually Thrall is going to take over, and he is the top damage now for his team. But on the other side, Porc9 still has 2 heroes that eclipse him in the damage output. The Ancestral on Make, as he's again focused. We are 18 minutes deep into this game already. Game number 1 in the best of 3 series, the semifinal. The semifinal right here. And the poke just continues. 74,000 for Alarak though. Performance of Storm Qualifier on the hero is just incredible right now. So many setups for his team where he allows them to get a kill, set something up. I mean, especially the triple combo that we saw earlier was just fantastic. So now this one is breaking through the walls, and well, if they can get this softened up a little bit more, then the next objective, if they are able to claim it, would give them the opportunity to end the game here. Alright, get the connect against Li Ming. Not too much done there though. And still the connects from Thrall. Crash Lightning is giving him value. Mad value in terms of poke damage. And if they can poke them down slowly and steadily, that might be the opportunity for Li Ming to go in for recess and get the kills, especially with Calamity. But still. 6 kills against 4 items. That's what's becoming important right now. And they're trying to go for a quick kill beacon. There's one turret though. One turret on the side of the blue team. Mark is moving in too, but they can't take it. They're still poking. Yeah, you gotta be careful right now. It's rough. They have to control Storm Qualifier. That's pretty much what it comes down to. If Storm Qualifier is able to make the plays with Alarak again and get good telekinesis too, for example, then that might just be it. Fury is just darting around the entire time. They have the healing beacon. They're going for the quick turret now as well. Damage output 73,000. Heavily eclipsing Li Ming. Yeah, that's the power of Trash Lightning if you complete it in a reasonable time frame. And now they want to go for this one too. Keep in mind, they have Sanctification. It's a big problem. It's a huge problem for the Vikings. Close quarter fights like this one are not really in their favor because of a good Sanctification that can turn it all. And that's maybe what we're going to see here. Sanctification is in, item is being fought over, but the red team is actually pushed back by this. And now they're having a problem because all of a sudden there's a double kill. Imperius is down and so is Karazim. Nicely done by the Vikings. They go in, they get the double kill, and all of a sudden they are starting to take the lead here. Moving into the middle of the map, pushing that out even farther, maybe stealing their opponent's camp here. Oh, and the wall is already open at the keep. Look at that. They can make the play right now for keep number 1 in this game. I don't think they can go for a core, but that would already be a big deal because, as we said previously, the next objective spawns in the middle again. And maybe they can even push this further if they're able to get a kill here as well. They're trying to go for it, but, well, they're actually sticking around. They're looking for it. They're going for the slow Riptire. Mopsio! Oh, nearly a kill against him. Items on the ground. Healing gets a bit of value, but the turnaround attempt against Gia. Bolt of the Storm. Mopsio dead. Nicely done. They go for the core. The Catapult is doing mad damage right now. Catapult is doing damage, and that's not the only thing. 50% the Vikings mercilessly. They get an opportunity and they go straight in for the jugular to take game number 1 and take the lead over Porc9 in the semifinal of the HeroesHype Premier Series. Infernal Shrines, everyone! Map number 2. Vikings are in the lead, turning it around in the late game against Porc9 here. With a pretty solid effort, actually, in that last fight over the camp. But damn, like, that was quite something. I mean, Porc9 looked strong this game. It was a very close one, either way. So now that we're heading into the second map, let's see if this changes things, because Infernal Shrines is obviously a bit of a different ball game between the two teams here. Thrall, solid damage in the last game too with the Crash Lightning. Doubt that we're gonna see it in this game. If the hero is picked, Echo of Elements is the much more realistic choice on this map. But I also am interested a bit in where Vala is gonna land here. So first of all, we're seeing Hanzo banned out again, and also Mephisto, so the Make counter ban. Don't wanna have Make on that hero is happening. And, well, that we're getting Tyrael banned out, okay, this time actually against them. So no Tyrael plays here for Backhult. I mean, Backhult, he plays a lot of Tyrael, a lot of Johanna, and Garrosh. Those are his 3 go-to heroes usually. Can obviously play more than that, but those are the 3 heroes that we see him on most of the time. So, yep, let's see what else is going to happen here. With that, we're having the ban against the damage. Sorry, against the red team. Alarak? Yeah, Alarak. After the last game, you ban out Alarak, exactly. Could have maybe seen a Junkrat ban here. Maybe Porc9 wants to play Junkrat again. But now, of course, we're coming into first pick territory. And again, if some people are still confused why Samuro wasn't really picked by Monkey or why he wasn't banned out here, Samuro is currently banned for this tournament because there is a bug with him right now. So Samuro is not allowed, therefore teams don't have to waste a ban on Samuro. Ooh, Mopsy with Morganas here, okay. Alright, 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 alright. Rhaegar Johanna? Is that an option for them? Johanna for Berghold, Rhaegar coming in. A lot of wave clear right off the bat, or are we going to see an early pick into the damage and maybe something along the lines of like Vala or Junkrat? I mean, again, with Vala you always have to be careful. Okay, instead of Johanna we get Garrosh, but Rhaegar is still picked in the first rotation. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, cool. So now the question is more so what we're going to see for damage on the other side. Again, Vala is a hero that I'm really interested to see where she lands now, because she is pretty powerful on this map. And just generally speaking, after she received the buffs on the hit point pool in particular, she is obviously solid. Can play her with a double support, but you don't have to. But they go for Jaina instead, together with Fury's Malfurion. Fury's Malfurion? Could be Monkey again. I mean, they usually switch this around a little bit. But now with the bans coming through, I have Mal'Ganis setting this up. You have Jaina obviously on top of that. You can ban out the top lane a little bit. Rexa has been played a lot by Monkey to an extent that they actually banned Rexa in the previous game. It's another one where you could get rid of him. There we go. I would expect that we're gonna have on the side of the Vikings Leoric getting picked. Now that Zarya is banned out in particular. So Leo seems like a pretty solid pick for them. Good wave clear, good rotations between the mid and top. I guess you could go for Malthael. But Leo would be quite solid with level 20 and then Tomb being upgraded into the Buried Alive though. I mean, there's other options, don't get me wrong. You can go into Leo, but they already showed in the last map that they are okay playing with Urel, which is a solid pick too. But this is typically a map where the wave clear of Leo comes in quite handy. Greymane and Sonya! Alright, we have Sonya back to business. Nice. We actually saw a previous game with that and it was pretty strong. So, Greymane plus Sonya, and well, Sonya and Rhaegar together as a tag team with a lightning shield here, that's not bad. Especially if the girl is in, well, I'm not quite sure if I should call her girl. I mean, she looks like Eminem. Look at that face and tell me that's not Eminem right there. Eminem with a wig. That's pretty much what it is. But talking Malthael, Malthael is taken, and so is Thrall. So both of them are getting claimed here. And, well, that puts us into a position where Gia is going to have the last pick for his team. And, well, Junkrat is up. If you want to have a little bit of outside poke. Oh, Medivh, I like it. Cool. We're getting Medivh actually on the last pick here, so guys, awesome. Infernal Shrines, game number 2 in the semi-final. Let's head into it and see if the Vikings can take it to a victory or if Porc9 fights back and forces the third game of the series. Game number 2, with a quick pause as we're heading into our setup. Over to the left side, we actually have Gulnar on Rhaegar, Berghold on Garrosh, Macke on Greymane. And, well, Sven is playing Sonya with Gia jumping onto Medivh, so he's going to cheat around a little bit in Raven form on this map, on our second map of the series. And over to the right side, we have Porc9. With Monkey on Malthael, Shirionto on Thrall, Mopsio on Mal'Ganis, and, well, we're seeing Swampcore on Jaina, and Fury on Malfurion. They've been pretty flexible, actually, in a lot of the supports that they played. I mean, most of the times Malfurion has actually played the support now, but we've seen him earlier switching positions with Monkey in order to get into the side lane, especially when Chen was played, so more so the one that is focusing on that. But let's check it out. We're having, in terms of talents, Thrall actually not making a choice yet. Now, this is a triple setup, so in theory, Thrall could go for the Crash Lightning, but I gotta say that I'm still expecting, yes, Echo of Elements, exactly. Most of the talent to go for here. It's much more difficult to actually stack Crash Lightning here, and it's usually not the go-to talent unless you are guaranteed to have an easy time stacking it, so yeah. Now we're gonna keep our eye out on Medivh and his baseline. If he can stack that, that would of course be great for him. Mopsio is already jumping around here. Yep, Berghold needs to be cautious as he's about to get rocked down here. And they're making the play for Mopsio. And Mopsio is a bit low, but is still able to use his mobility with a Fell Claws to get away from this one. So Gulnar again with a tactical pause here. I actually think this is something that we've now seen multiple times because in the early game there's still a couple of hiccups, but I think that's actually quite normal. So I would expect that this is going to be started up in just a moment, and that is the case. So, nice rotation here immediately to the top. This is the power of Medivh. Medivh in a situation like this just allows you to traverse between lanes so much more quickly, and it allows you to catch experience that you normally would lose out on. So it's pretty sweet. This, then again, is a big problem. Khaldor is able to get away. Yeah, Medivh is such an annoying hero to play against. As you can see here. I mean, honestly, this could have, in theory, been 2 kills even for Porc9, but you have to play around Medivh, and Gia is playing a good one here. Could have honestly been Mako on the hero too, but Mako in this case is ready for Greymane. He wants to get the damage out there. So we're still having Medivh obviously just giving vision and making sure that they know exactly where the opponent is. Blizzard has told us on level 20 exactly what the hero is about. They called it Medivh Cheat. The Storm talent, and every single time I see the talent, I'm thinking, no shit, Sherlock. We knew that from level 1. We didn't need the level 20 for that. But we actually have Greymane going down, so Medivh not catching this one. Mopsio is a bit low, but they won't be able to drop him since they don't have enough damage. Yeah, that's where Greymane would have come in handy. But Greymane dying in the mid lane to that little setup, as he was trying to defend that against that camp. Now with the 1-0 lead that we actually have, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Porc9. It's definitely going to be a lot of pressure for him. Now to the bottom of the map, there's still Fury and Shirionto sitting tight. But yeah, there's also with level 4 now, the Hurricane. Against the slows, and especially against Jaina and the lockdown from Malfurion, not really too bad. So that's actually a solid talent to give him more sustainability on the shrine and a little bit more value here. But then again, looking over to, well, Garrosh, high, Indomitable. What else are we going to get there? Is he really going to play around that? We see that very, very rarely. I mean, granted, on level 1, he didn't go into the... went into the Groundbreaker here, but I would still say Indomitable is what we're going to get. Arcane Intellect again, as we've seen previously from Stramgrotta, same build that he used in the previous game, Strangling Vines. And also the additional quest talent for Thrall. There's the Indomitable for Garrosh. No surprises there. And the Stormcaller as objective number 1 spawns on the map. Sonya with a rotation, but it's a 4 versus 3 at the top. And they're actually getting their hit against Mopsio, who just simply rushes out of this one. Alright. Sonya has to be a bit careful because there's actually someone waiting for her for the rotation. Thrall, on the other hand, moves topside. Actually, they don't. Actually going both for Sonya right now, so a little bit of an attempt to get a kill here. And Sven is in trouble, in a lot of trouble at that, but not locked down for long enough. The Hurricane pick on level 4 definitely saving the ass of Sonya there. If that Wolf would have locked her down long enough, that would have been a kill for sure. But not the case here. Still forces her to go back, and that is a 5 versus 4 at the top of the map right now. And that's bad news for the Vikings. They're trying to fight back into this. Nice save here again from Gia, who's sitting at 17 stacks on the baseline, but Galnagular is low, and Galnagular goes down. The dog is dead again. I always knew that Malthael was a cat person. There's the stun against Mopsio, but I don't really think they can do too much until Rhaegar comes back. There's level 7 talents ready for Porc9. I mean, obviously, it gets worse and worse for them now. Ancestral Wrath, of course, in play as well. They get the level 7. Rhaegar's on the way back, and it's still pretty even on the objective, but that's not going to last for much longer. And everybody is kind of low on the side of the blue team, and that's a big problem. They don't have the sustain without Rhaegar. Shirionto again coming back. In comes the attempt to get Mopsio on the back line with the portal. They can't get that. It's 23 against 30. The tap at the fountain, though, that could be the game changer as they're starting to move in. 31 against 30. It's going to be a nail biter. They're trying to make the kill. Mopsio low, and Mopsio goes down. Good kill. 36 against 31. Backhold low. 37. They lose their front line, but they take the Mortar Punisher. Nicely played, and they get the second kill against Malthael on top of it. Haha! The Vikings, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, out for blood once again. And they are crushing objective number 1. Well, crushing is the wrong word. Again, let's face it, this one was an incredibly close one. But they were still able to fight back into it after Rhaegar came back. And that is not an easy feat considering how low they were. And that their opponent still had the fountain up. So they get the kill against Mopsio, they turn around, take the Punisher and get even a little bit more. 29 stacks now for Gia. Only 2 for Thrall. Lost some. But he's nearly done with his quest, and it's about time, so seriously. 5 minutes and 40 seconds in. Talking about that, Sven is getting attacked at the bottom of the map again. Not the first time. This time the gank includes Mal'Ganis. And this gank is going to be a lot more successful, or is it? Well, yes, it is! Monkey nearly died for this one. He nearly died for it, but not quite. They were able to get the kill, and that was an important one. Rhaegar is the one that rotates down to deal with the situation. But the fort at the top gets also attacked, and in this case, it's taken down. So now we're having 30 stacks for Medivh. 10 more. 10 more without dying, and he's gonna be Gucci. For now, he's just sitting topside. Giving a little bit more vision here. Trying to soak. But there's level 10 abilities now. Last rites. Earthquake. And I would still assume that we're gonna see the Carrion Swarm. For Mal'Ganis, would be surprised if you see anything else. I mean, Dark Conversion is usually not the play here. And yep, there it is. Carrion Swarm is in. And we have level 10 on both sides. And this time it's the Cursed Bullet. Again, got buffed in one of the previous patches. A little bit more damage right now. With the current health buffed up to 40. And with that, they now have an opportunity to chunk down. Well, I guess first of all Mal'Ganis a little bit, but not only him. I mean, any of the frontliners will do at this point. Sonya's already attempting to move in. Mopsio sitting at the side here. Sitting tight. It's still a close game. Very close. Even a bit of an experience lead for Porc9, despite the fact that they lost the objective. Now, on the other hand, they're going to lose Mopsio again, aren't they? Yes, they do. And there's the ley line set up as they're making the play for Svamgrota, and he should die too. Wow, he actually survives this. You gotta be kidding me. One more hit was all that they needed there, but they are able to keep him in play. Mopsio, the only one who falls, didn't have a chance to go for the Carrion Swarm. And that was a big one, though. It's unbelievable to me that they weren't able to kill Jaina as well. 4 kills against 3, and Maka gets the experience top. So with that said, having in terms of quests, well, Medivh nearly done. He's sitting at 38 stacks. 2 more, it's all that he needs. And in terms of damage, 19,000 for Greymane, 18,000 for Malthael though. Yeah, Malthael didn't get a stack out of the last one. Used last rights, but he couldn't get the stack. They're going for the camp again. And this is actually something that is quite nice. Porc9 has been very diligent about getting camps and also attempting to steal them away from the opponent. Always driving a wedge between the opponent's army here. Yeah, there's the quest completed for Gia. Just in time. Yeah, but the attacks keep coming, and Bakul is getting attacked, trying to go to the portal, and he barely makes it out. And even Hearthstones. Shrine is active, but he says like, okay guys, I need to go back. Doesn't maybe not have the fountain, doesn't want to use it. I mean, either way. There's a lead now for Porc9 on the objective. But Sonya is moving in, and Sonya always has Medivh to rely upon with the shield and everything else. But both of the teams are now just dancing around it, and the position so far has been taken by the Vikings as they're about to take a lead on the objective again. Mopsio starting to move in, heroic abilities are coming back, Twilight Dream is already available. But, well, Thrall does now also have Earthquake. Last rights, and again the taunt and the kill attempt against Mopsio. Mopsio nearly down, last rights didn't do anything. Leyline is ready, they go for the Mops, and the Mops is getting away. Or is he? Galne Gulnar goes in and might have gone in a little bit too deep. Galne Gulnar about to fall, too greedy, but they still get Mal'Ganis. And the Frozen Punisher is claimed by Porc9. Just as Sonya is slowed down by Svamgrota and is also dropped. So all of a sudden, what looked like a good start into the fight, it turns against the Vikings. Porc9 with 6 kills against 4. They take the objective and they go straight down to the bottom of the map in order to claim another fort right there. Well, well played. Quest not completed on Thrall, by the way. He's sitting on 4 stacks. Level 13 talents are ready for both, which gives us the inevitable end for Malthael. And they got the fort bot side. So by now, we're having pretty much at the top another big move against the gate, and they should get the entire wall out of this one. Medivh and Rhaegar are moving in. Galne Gulnar was so close of getting the kill and might have been able to move out, but still, these fights are getting a little bit nuts here. And this is the fight for their life in the tournament. Porc9, they want to make sure that they're going to the grand final. And honestly, since they formed a little bit later than a lot of the teams that are participating in this tournament, since initially Mopsio was playing with the with nothing changed, they kind of need to win a bit more than other teams in order to make the qualifier happen. So that's one of the things. Playoffs start next week. On the bottom of the map, Make is just the entire time racking on Greymin as much as he can, but the aggression is forced in the middle as they go for... Jesus. Berkult nearly got killed there again. I mean, seriously, there's some seriously cool moves on the side of the red team. But now Gia is just helpless, gets taken down. They try to get the kill against Thrall, but they can't get... Well, actually, Make goes in and gets it. Resets the quest again. He himself is not able to get a kill, but Malfurion is down, and as it happens, they're going for the next kill. They're going for Monkey. All of a sudden, it's a triple kill. What? They lose the fort, but they get a triple kill. What looked initially like a sure kill against Garrosh turns into a kill against Medivh, but they lose 3 in the process. And now we have Vikings closing in on level 16 a bit quicker than Porc9. It's actually incredible. Make with a mad kill there, and they kept the rest of the team alive, and they get 3 in the process. Now they have also Nerves of Steel taken right here. That in and of itself is fantastic for survivability, and they get another kill against Mal'Ganis. They're just crushing them right now. They're absolutely killing them, and that turned quickly. It was Porc9 that put on the aggression the entire time, and instead the Vikings just decided that they're done with this, and they turn it around and are now taking kill after kill and camp after camp. 16 talents are ready for Porc9, which allows them obviously to fight back now. That gives us the Alpha Wolf, but Thrall never completed the Frostwolf pack. He doesn't have the cooldown reduction. And now we're having Medivh just flying around the entire time. There's also Blind as a Bat now taken, and camps are claimed all over the place once again. Yeah, it's actually starting to become a bit more tricky for Porc9, but again, still 16 talents. It's an even talent fight. If they do well on the Shrine, they can turn this at any point. But obviously this was a little bit of a confidence blow that they just suffered, because that was a really solid fight from the Vikings. Well coordinated with some insane individual plays. Make in particular just jumping after them the entire time here. So now we're looking on 16 for the Rising Storm. Mortal Combo is in. And also the Temporal Flux, but it's party time, baby. This is an Arcane Punisher that's been fought over. And Berkult and the taunts that he had against Mopsio had a huge impact on how many kills they were able to get so far. That and the Cursed Bullet, of course. Sven is already whirlwinding away here. Here comes the taunt, and Indomitable is in. They go for Mopsio, and once again it's Medivh that keeps them safe, at least for now. Carrion Swarm has already been used. There's the Ancestral, Leyline, Sealers. They're trying to get the kill. The problem is that Make is the target, and Make is going to go down. Make dead. Can they get a counter kill? That's the question, and at this point it seems like they're closer of losing another hero than getting a kill themselves. And that's the case. Sonya is dead. The top is being pushed. At least the camp gets some value and will break through the wall eventually. The problem is that Malthael is on his way, so he's going to shut that attempt down, and they are going to get another Punisher here. Yep, there we have it. 21 against 19. Stacking it up. Bot lane defended. And again, experience lead has shifted. Now in the hands of Porc9. This game. Back and forth the entire time. Yeah, now we have 44,000 damage for Jaina, 37k for Greymane. And even with the objective, I mean, you should be able to get the keep at this point. I guess the wall has been opened up. No, the wall actually is still intact, so they can bait it over. So there's no guarantee that they're going to get the keep. But they can make the play here and try. And we have, by the way, only a single stack on the last rights. Only one. It was accomplished in the last fight when they dropped Greymane with it. So here we go. They need to bait it over. Level 20 will give us some solid talents though for Vikings. Yeah, especially for Sonya. Survivability is everything for her. Still 0 stacks on Thrall's level 4. If you don't complete that early, you're going to have a rough time. But it's actually insane that on this map, he didn't complete it yet. On the Shrine, you normally have a good time connecting with multiple heroes. And look at this. It's an easy defense. Bait it over, take it down. Easy claim. The fort is falling. That rotation towards the top is at least allowing them to take the fort down. But yeah, 19.5 against 19 soon. So at this point, it's about damage control. The blue team needs to ensure that for the next objective, they have level 20. They need to make sure that they don't die now, because, well, Porc9 is going to have Storm Talents much quicker than they do. So it's all about soaking experience, trying to ensure that as the next objective spawns, you have level 20. You can fight with Storm Talents against Storm Talents. And there's nothing really that should stop them from accomplishing that. Unless they're getting caught in a really bad spot or something, I just don't see any problems here. Vision is granted the entire time by Medivh, then in and of itself is usually allowing you to ensure that nobody is catching you off guard. So they are okay with this. We have great talents now with the Earthen Shields for Thrall, Winter Mutes, Astral Communion. Strong 20s. Very, very strong 20s for them. And also the Vanquish the Weak. Right here. So the main question is just simply, what's the setup going to be on the other side? Because now we're going to see Sonya just pop off a little bit more. Greymane is also going to get some serious buffs with this. And the only question is, what impact is that going to have on their team fight? And especially around Garrosh, that's a big question, because his taunt has become highly important in these fights in order to get kills. Now they have the Titan Might now. I think also, finally, as expected, Ignore Pain right here, and this is a big one. Medivh cheats, duh. No shit, Sherlock. Hunter Blunderbuss and Storm Shield. They have the tools now. They definitely do. But can they play around them? That's the bigger question. Here comes the taunt, and they want to go for Malfurion, but they can't get him, and instead it's Garrosh that falls. Chen is about to die too. Ancestral is keeping him in play, but this is bad news. Galna Gulnar is down. They get the counter kill against Malthael, but can they get more? That's the question, because they need to. And they're trying. But Sven gets slowed down again. Gia keeps him in play as long as he can. And there's the kill against Thrall. There's the kill against Thrall. And does he get away? No! That's the kill that they needed. Gia is about to die. The counter kill against Jaina. It's a bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen. And the 5-man wipe as Greymane falls to. What a fight! What an absolute destruction that we just witnessed here. They go for the keep and they're going to get it. The question is, can they get the core? And I honestly don't think so. 15 seconds on Garrosh. He should be able to buy some time. He still has the Warlord's challenge back up, but we have more aggression at the top. They might even be able to go for double keep at this point though. But the shrine is activating, so you kind of want to go for that one. Talking double keep, guess what's happening at the bottom of the map? Whew, baby, there we go. There we have it. This is going to be a second keep if they don't... Backhood comes in. Get the hell out of here. So they save this one. But they can't take the Punisher. They can't. They don't have the time. They don't have the heroes. 11 seconds for Greymane. 10 and plus travel time. There's no way. There's no way. This is a win on the shrine. That Punisher goes to Porc9. We might see a 3-mapper here. It's not an impossible defense, but it's a difficult one. It's a difficult defense for sure. And I do not know if they can pull this off. But we'll find out right now. With Medivh cheats, you might just be able to pull it off. You might just be able to have a chance here. Bot lane is still pressuring. That's a problem. Can they actually turn this, or are we going to see the third map? That's the question. Yeah, well, right now, here comes the push. Ults are ready. Everything is ready here. Every single one. And what are they going to do with this one? There's the jump. There's the bait. Gonna bait it in. They're gonna lose the keep. I mean, the keep is gonna fall. And can they get a kill? Can they find an angle to get a kill here? Somehow. Somewhere. Sven, low. Needs to be careful. Looking for a target the entire time. Mopsio zoning them. Punisher again baited. Mopsio thrown in, and they're trying to get the quick kill against him, but I don't think they can. Is the taunt ready? Apparently not. Last rights denied at this point. The kill against Garrosh instead. Sonya goes down. That has to be the end. That has to be the end. 2 down already, and they're looking for 3. They're looking for more. They're looking for Gia. They lose Mal'Ganis, but there's the root, and there's the kill. There's the double as Medivh and Greymane fall. 5-man team wipe as Porc9 is cleaning house, and that is another 3-mapper today, ladies and gentlemen. Porc9 with a victory on Infernal Shrines. We are heading into the third map of this best of 3 series, the semi-final of the HeroesHype Premier Series. Game number 3. We're finally here. Third game, and it's Battlefield of Eternity. We actually started into the draft already a bit earlier, but there was a big disconnect on the side of Mopsio, so expect the first few bans and picks to happen very, very quickly in this one. And yeah, it's the final series. Porc9 turned it around and is closing in to advance to the final. They have a chance to make it to the grand final in this tournament. So yeah, Tracer was first out, banned out pretty quickly. Hanzo obviously on this map also here you kind of want to get rid of, since, well, he is obviously quite strong against the objective. And especially in the hands of Porc9, they usually don't want to see that. Alarak the same thing. So I guess they're currently just going over the same bans again. If they can remember them, I don't think we're going to see a total redraft. Tyrell gets banned too. Now we should see the Hanzo ban on the side of the Vikings. That's exactly the case. The Li Ming first pick, which makes a lot of sense, because if you don't pick Li Ming first here, Make is definitely going to take that pick immediately. But instead, Make will now go into Vala, another great hero for this map too, and the traditional early Rhaegar that we are seeing from Vikings in pretty much every single setup. So with that, we had Karazim actually picked as the support on the side of Porc9. I'm not quite sure if that was a bit of a misstep or not, but yep, there's Karazim and Johanna. Alright, this is how far we got, and then Mopsio actually disconnected. But the setup is already that Make is now in a position where he can play either with a second support coming in, which could be Tacita or even Zarya, who in turn then could be comboed off with Garrosh, which is something that did in the past, or he can just play it solo there, ever since the hit point pool got increased on Vala as possible. But let's see what the bans are actually revealing, because now if you're really worried that there could be a Garrosh, Vala, Zarya setup, you would ban out Zarya again for Porc9. That happened a couple of times now. On both sides, by the way. Zarya got banned multiple times against Swamp, but you could also make the case now that it would be a good ban against them. And they ban Garrosh instead, which at the end of the day is going to accomplish pretty much the same thing. So Garrosh gets banned out. That leaves us on the support side with actually a lot of strong support still. But if you look at the bans, I talked a bit about how Berghuld's 3 heroes are Johanna, Tyrael and Garrosh. The 3 main heroes that he plays. Not all. But Johanna was picked away, Tyrael was banned out, and Garrosh was banned out. So they're definitely targeting at this point Berghuld and trying to put him into a bit of an awkward spot. And he goes into ETC, which is an insane tank actually on Battlefield of Eternity, because with good ETC control, you can stun an opponent into the Immortal stun, and can really work well also around stun follow-ups from Blaze, for example. But again, it's not one of the 3 heroes that Berghuld usually plays that he favors. So now we have to see what he can pull off with ETC here, and if he's going to be comfortable enough in that role to play on the same level that he does with his 3 main tanks. Greymane gets still picked, and that's also Rexxar on the offlane for Monkey. Doesn't really come too much as a shock. He's been playing the hero a lot. And with Battlefield of Eternity coming in, I mean, this is a solid setup here for Porc9, first of all, with a lot of damage through Li Ming with Poke and Greymane once he gets on the Immortal. But what is Gia gonna pick? Are we gonna see the extra damage? It's gonna be a bit more of a frontline. Auriel, double support! There we go! Vala with a double support. All eyes on Make for this one. And Battlefield of Eternity. It's the final map. Let's see which team takes it to advance to the grand final of the last, but not least, HeroesHype Premier Series qualifier. Let's jump straight in. The game is on. The Vikings against Porc9. We are on Battlefield of Eternity, our final map. And to the left, it's Galne Gulnar on Rhaegar, Sven on Blaze. We have Berghuld and ETC. Make on Vala, and Gia on Auriel. Double support for the win, with an arrow build for Vala, obviously. Porc9 on the right side, with Svampgrotta on Greymane this time, Monkey on Rexxar, Mopsio on Johanna, Shirionto on Li Ming, and Fury is playing Karazim. Alright. I am honestly excited for this one. This is going to be great for just so many reasons. First of all, we have another 3-member, which in and of itself is always fun. We have Porc9 after defeating Lauber's Fanclub, now in a position where they can enter the grand final. And in addition to that, we actually see a double support composition with Vala. A little bit old school here, but I definitely like it. So, Rhaegar has the wave clear, but this is going to be a great game. Oh, it could be. Let's just put it like that. I mean, either way, it's already fascinating to see that we have these two teams fighting for the grand final, considering that in the past, tournaments were pretty much decided by Granite Gaming, aka the fan club, or washed up. So it's pretty awesome to see that. And in particular, I want to see now how exactly Gia is going to play on Oriel, because it's not quite a hero that I expected him to pick, but he can definitely... I mean, I heard that Gia knows how to handle a whip, so we'll see if that's true or not, but they have to showcase that. Already a little bit of aggression here. Rhaegar is the one moving towards the top, but guess what? The little doggy is going to get some company. There's Fury already, and Svamkurota is also staying true and saying, you know what? We want that camp too. You're not the only one, buddy. Nice attempt at a sneak, but yep, we are going to take that away from you. So they take the camp at the top, but at the bot lane, that also means that the red team can move, the blue team can move in to make that a trade. The problem that they have is Greymane is pretty good on structures. So as Svamkurota and Karazim jump in together with the camp, there's a really solid case to be made that they are going to just crush through this wall. And down at the bottom of the map, well, there's also a push happening. The question is just simply who pushes faster. And at that point, we're seeing down here the kill against Vala. And that's a problem because Shirionto kind of got that one out of nowhere, apparently. And therefore, the wall doesn't really fall. The main damage dealer gone. And if you compare now the progress on the two, this wall has nearly been destroyed down at the bottom of the map. Thanks to the kill against Vala, this one is more or less still intact. So it is a lead for Porc9 already. Small lead again, granted, this is not where you get a massive advantage in the early stages, but taking that wall down is going to empower the camp that they're taking now. Makes it much easier for them to get some value out of it. And we'll see how that works out. So right now, level 4 abilities come in on both sides, and we're going to see the objective announced soon. There it is. Plus, level 4 with the stacks now for Vala. We're going to have that play. And yep. A little move towards Johanna, and Mopsio is able to get out. Shirionto gets the whip for just a moment, but there's the push at the top, and just as I said previously, to take that, you have the advantage, and Sven is going down. Yep, Greymane nearly died for it. Might still, but not quite. No. The rotation comes in though, but they won't be able to get a lockdown here. But they go through the entire wall, they get the kill. They're looking good here. Vala then again is already starting to make some headway on the Immortal, and that's obviously where Marke comes in. And his level 1 Monster Hunter is going to give him quite a lot of value with this. We're having at the bottom of the map still another camp that pushes through, and that's where the Shaman camp unfortunately gets targeted directly by one of the turrets, so that doesn't help them. At the top, Galnegulnar is still getting attacked here. Monkey nearly gets a solo kill against him, but the fight isn't over because the entire party is still raging on as Li Ming is looking for poke and kills. The halftime show, though, has been won by the Vikings, and despite the fact that they haven't gotten a kill yet, getting the lead on the objective is solid here. So, yep, they're starting to make the play for it. And the problem is simply that Greymane and Karazim can't do too much on the right side. They're reducing the hit points, but that's still going to be a win for the blue team. Yeah, they get it. Objective taken by the Vikings. Porc9 with the kills, Porc9 with the structure damage, but the objective gets taken by the blue team. And now there's obviously an opportunity to at least break through the wall. It's a small shield that the Immortal has, but it's there. There's level 7 abilities now. And as usual, Calamity on level 7. I said it before, I say it again, on level 7 there is one talent. It's basically one of Blizzard's IQ tests. If you think there are multiple talents on level 7, you're playing Li Ming wrong. Might sound harsh, but that's just the reality of it. There's a reason that talent has been picked for 3 years in competitive games from every top team in the world. Well, and with that, we're now also looking at 7 talents on both sides, but the wall is the only thing that has fallen. Not even that, I mean, the turret is still there. So, yeah, right now, another opportunity Get a bit of damage in. Make sitting there. Cleanse is now ready. 6 stacks, by the way, for Vala. If Vala gets a few more stacks, that would be amazing. But now Fury is in trouble for just a moment. But Mopsio comes in with the Condemn to help out and suck the targets away. So that worked. But yeah, it's close. It's a nice game. It's game 3, and it's supposed to be close. It's exactly what I want from this series. So now we're going straight in for this. Zealous Glare after the Sins exposed, and actually with Reinforce in this game as a talent. You have to be careful with Strangbotta though. Every single time the Greymane makes rotations on the other side of the map, you gotta be cautious. If he makes it with a minion wave onto your structures, then you are going to lose some of them. Maki gets attacked as he's still stacking. Has of course an easier time against Misha. 11 stacks already on the level 4. And with a repeating arrow, they should have a much better time on the next objective than they did previously. Yep, that's 12 stacks. Oh, and he misses the second. Gets the quick vault in, but misses the second. Wall falls, finally. Maka now with 12 stacks gets the extra damage, but he doesn't have the quest completed yet, as the next Immortal is spawning. It should be at least 1 stack. Ooh, Fury. Be a little bit more careful there. I mean, yeah, the rotation is coming, but still needs to be cautious. Good move by Backward, by the way. Great power slide in order to stop the opponent from chasing down anybody. And 5 seconds for the Immortal. Level 9.5 though. That's the big one. If you get level 10 and you can force a fight around, it would be great. I mean, this is one of those moments when you have to be careful. If you're the Vikings, again, it's not necessarily going to mean anything. It's a small window that they have, but if you fight the fight just in that window, your opponent is just going to completely crush you. And therefore, caution is advised. Now, there are camps taken. That's the level 10 ability, and with this we're now having Go for the Throat available. Palm, Blessed Shield is ready too. And it's time to get some Immortal damage in. 15, 16 stacks actually for Vala already. That's great for her. They're trying to get the halftime show with an advantage, but I'm not quite sure if they actually can. Monkey's just eating that stun. Damn. Didn't pay attention there, obviously. Okay. His ability is already taken as they're making their way in. Strafe on Vala, going full out on the damage. They didn't get the halftime show. Not quite. 17 stacks now for Make. He's closing in on the quest completion. That would be a great one for him here. The hits keep coming. And they poke. I mean, Make can poke the entire time. Every single arrow that he connects is an important one. They make the play for Svampgrotta, who jumps out. There's the Boars unleashed by Monkey. Locked out against Sven. Bunker is through. And Make escapes. Just as the combo of Li Ming hits him hard. But Li Ming is also incredibly low thanks to all of that. Who's gonna go to the grand final? That's the question. 18 stacks by now for Make. Damage output should be pretty good for him. 21,000 against the 27 that we see from Shirionto. Haven't killed anyone yet. Outside of Misha. Outside of a little bit of bear abuse in this game, we haven't seen anything from the Vikings. They want that pelt. But now, again, Make dancing around. Gets actually stunned out. Good damage against him. Not only against him, Sven as well in trouble. Gets the Ancestral in. Maybe the kill against Fury. No, not quite. But Make is low. Make is incredibly low. And Misha nearly went for the kill there. But the quest is completed now for Vala, the main damage dealer. Supported by 2 healers in this game. And again, the damage against the Immortal from Vala alone is pretty incredible when she gets a full-on combo through. The bottom of the map, Sven is still sitting tight here. Li Ming with a bit of poke damage finally gets the 50%, so the halftime show has started. Shirionto wants to go for Oriel, but doesn't get the connect. The power slide is in, on the other hand, very much so on target. And that gives us the kill against Li Ming. Yeah, and of course, therefore, again, the Immortal attacked and taken. The Vikings. They win game number 1, they lose barely out on game number 2, but now in the 3rd game, they just get the kill when they need it the most, and now with a 50% Immortal, they have an opportunity to go to the bottom of the map. Camp has been taken here, and we go in again against the support. And Mopsio, well, against the tank actually, Mopsio is in trouble, but I don't really think that he is going to die on this one. But he's low, and that means that he might actually have to Hearthstone back a little bit earlier than expected. He won't be able to help out with the aggression here. And yeah, he's already on the move. I think that's fort. That should be the fort right here. So they're starting to go straight in for it, and the fort is being abandoned. They can't do anything about this one. So things are slowly starting to shift a little bit in favor of the Vikings. And the damage output, 29,000 against 32,000. Vala is doing exactly what she's supposed to do. With the double support, it's working for her. Does she have enough damage in the late game? That's one of the big questions to be answered here. So they're starting to jump straight in, and they go through the wall at the keep to power slide by Backhold. Yeah, there come the Boars, they're unleashing them, trying to lock them down and maybe force that battle here. It's a 5 versus 5 regardless, but the wall has fallen. A little bit of damage on the keep. Nothing serious yet. They're retreating from this one. Yeah, 13 versus 13 in just a few seconds. Experience is pretty much the same. It's a close game. But the advantage on structures goes to the Vikings. Can't overstay their welcome. Mark has to be careful. That Blessed Shield could connect any moment. And if it does, the follow-up will be there. There's not a lot that's needed in order to take Vala down, unless the Aegis of Oriel comes through at the perfect moment in time. But one good stun from the Blessed Shield and a Grey Mane and or Li Ming follow-up, and you might be dead here. Mosh Pit, it's party time, baby! Interrupted pretty quickly, but still a bit of a setup that we have for them. The jet propulsion is missing, that's a problem. And Mopsio is still on the run, gets stunned into the wall, and there's the palm, but this time the jet propulsion at least hits. Bunker still underneath the fort itself. They were looking for the kill and they got everybody low, but they could not put in the finishing blow to drop someone. More damage coming out of Li Ming though. Going in with a bit more here. Go for the throw, is still ready. There's the poke. Ancestral and Aegis, both available. They really went deep into the sustain talents here. If that fountain falls, there's no retreat point anymore. The models are being announced again. With level 13 talents, that gives us also the siphoning arrow plus Earth Shield. Can't really exaggerate how much value that thing gives you when you're trying to land a good ancestral or save someone here. So, well, there we have again. Camps taken on both sides. And let's see what else we're going to get. Now, at least the mercenaries are getting taken down pretty big quickly. But now Vala needs to make her way over towards the Immortal if she can. Problem is, of course, that the top lane is getting pushed out completely, and that allows the entire Shaman camp to go in pretty aggressively. It forces Sven to react here. Vala has gotten a bit of damage in, thanks to the level 4 quest being completed and the repeating arrow. Yeah, gets another one connected. Good damage there, but the fight is starting. Aegis is being used. The problem is it pinpoints pretty much Marcus' position. Strafe and Mopsio, wow, nearly falling. Iron Skin saving his butt. And they're trying to turn it against Vangrota. Galnagul now was low in that encounter. Ancestral was already out, so the doggy was in trouble. Even with the double support, there was an issue. They have the damage, but the sustain with the double support is obviously pretty insane. And halftime show is taken again. Easily at that. Convincingly. And down to the bottom of the map now, we're having again Fury and his boys taking down the Shamans. The problem is that the fight has started around the Immortal again. And there it is. Arrow after arrow is coming through, and this is looking like a big win on the Immortal for them. Yeah, that is like a very, very tricky one right there. Yeah, Greyman is trying to turn this around, but as soon as anybody gets down to the bottom of the map towards the Immortal, this one is toast. And they're trying to... They're actually not doing too bad considering. I mean, considering how far behind they were, Vala having to top at the top was an issue. Oh, and that's a problem. Oh my god. Oh my god. The mosh pit. The double kill. The triple kill. Oh, and Vala is going to look for a quad kill. They're not going to get that one, but they're going to get the Immortal. Oh, that just took a turn for the worse. Oh, that one hurt. 3 heroes down, and just look at where they go. They go to the bottom of the map, first of all, to take Fury down, which they might succeed in doing. But even if they don't, that's a keep. That's a keep. They're going to get the keep here, and the Immortal at the top together with Blaze is going to go through that fort like hot butter through cheese. Well, actually, is it a keep? Their timers are still pretty low. They're going to get some damage on the keep, but they're not going to be able to get the keep. But as long as they don't die here, they're fine, because Blaze is crushing the top lane. Oh, that was an early palm. Holy hell. That was a really early palm. I know that monks are kind of known to palm themselves whenever they can, but that was a little bit too much. Yeah, Blaze just came in to help out, but now Vala is down, and so is one of the supports, which means that you're lacking all of your damage. 16 versus 16 at this point. And top lane is still suffering, guys. That keep is in trouble. And if nobody comes back to defend, then this is gonna be... That keep is gonna fall. Seriously, the keep is gonna fall. They just got a fort and a keep out of this one, plus extra damage against the keep at the bottom. Still a massive, massive win for the Vikings, despite the fact that Porc9 got 2 kills. They're still fighting back here. I mean, they're holding the fort at the bottom of the map. Guys, even the core is going to suffer some damage if nobody is dealing with this. It's not gonna fall, but it's definitely going to take damage, and quite a bit at that, I might add. I mean, just look at this. Like, they have to deal with that. It's 63%. We're talking 50 right now. They're just going for it. They could have gone for it. 20% on the core. They completely underestimated that situation. And this Immortal, again, we're talking 15 minutes in. I'm not quite sure what to say here. Now they can backdoor pretty much whenever. I mean, maybe not whenever, but they just... I mean, they signed their own death warrant pretty much at that point. That was rough. 17 versus 17, even experience, but the structural position on the map has turned into an absolute shit show for Porc9. Porc9 was so incredibly close to go to the grand final, and deservedly so, considering that they took out the Fanclub. But that was not the right move here. The Vikings played a strong series so far, and this game was anyone's to take. But now you have to control vision the entire time if you're the red team, because if your opponent moves onto the core, you're down. You've lost. And they can pretty much not afford to lose anything here anymore. Mosh pit again. No interrupt ready. There's the whip and the potential kill against Mopsio. Nice ancestral, and the strafe takes down Liming. First one down. And, well, the Palm at least connects, but the problem is that they already lost the hero, and now, ooh, Rhaegar is down, but can they... Oh, do they still have a support? Mopsio is dead. Guys, this is it. This is it. Look at that power slide. What a beauty. 2 down. That's 4 heroes against 2. And now they can pretty much go for the core, or they can just go for the objective. Either one is fine, to be honest with you. Maka is going topside too. Yep, 20 seconds until Liming is back, and they're going to try and go for the core here with 20%. I mean, can anybody really stop them here? I do not think so. And they might get the kill here as well against Kharazim. And they, well, they barely don't. But now the damage against Monkey, and they just go for the core. Liming is going to be back in just a second, but that core is falling quickly. And Bunker is up in another 12 seconds, but this is game. The Vikings moving to the grand final of this tournament as Porc9 is defeated on Battlefield of Eternity.